All right. So if Holsey is stepping down because of disagreeing with Hegseth over, and thereby disagreeing with Trump over the ramped up bombing of ships in Venezuela, which supposedly have cocaine in them, Holsey does not want to be part of any of this. He knows that it's, first of all, these killings of people on ships in Venezuela is illegal, and maybe he's trying to save his skin and his name, because I guess he has to retire very soon. So whatever his reasons for stepping down are, and whatever Trump's real reasons for picking wars with countries that these wars won't end up with victory. The last time the U.S. had a war with victory was World War II. And that was when Russia lost 27 million people of his lives. If they try to overthrow Maduro, as they've done in the past, it might lead to a bloody coup in Venezuela. But whoever wins, most likely Maduro and the socialist people. If Maduro gets killed, the socialist Bolivarian movement in Venezuela will still come out ahead.
I think he may have fallen out of favor with the Defense Secretary, Pete Hegseth. I think there may have been some disagreements over the way the drug boat missions have been handled, and Holsey reportedly raised concerns about the legality and the intensity of the strikes, and he voiced concerns. So I feel that may have been the catalyst for his resignation or stepping down. But this doesn't augur well for the U.S. military, because it shows that leadership stability is being compromised because of politics. And some of the strikes on unlawful combatants have sparked debate about whether they actually follow U.S. and international law. I think that
illegal. These bombings are illegal.
Yeah, and their relations
they're illegal.
with other Latin American nations could worsen due to this aggressive U.S. approach.
Generals and Navy staff are quitting. And Hegseth, it shows that Hegseth, they don't agree with him. So it shows that these people see the folly in what Trump is doing, and they see how destructive it is. Not as far as for national security, but as far as it's illegal stuff, number one. And number two, it's a misuse of the military.
Yeah,
it's a grave misuse of the military, and it's also contributing to the economic downfall of America. What are your thoughts, Kunle?
Yeah. So the main reason that they're quitting is because they fear that they're falling short of international law. Now, U.S. soldiers are sworn to obey certain laws and principles.
Okay, sorry, I'm wrong for cutting in front of you, but when do you think an American soldier has ever cared about international law? They can never be held accountable. I don't think that they're moral people. So I'm going to let you continue, but I disagree that they're doing it just because of that. But go ahead.
The guy is a four-star officer. And if you look at it, one of few black four-star officers ever to lead U.S. combatant command. And you look at it, the resignation is abrupt and ill-timed, particularly notable within the military hierarchy. And it begs the question, is the American military being compromised by seemingly political decisions? Because it appears that these the attack on these drug trafficking boats is not lawful, and he has raised this concern, and I feel the pressure on him is why he has actually resigned. That's just what I feel.
Okay, I'll agree with you, but in the past, Americans have never worried about illegal activities, like when they went into Iraq. You get my point? When they took out Gaddafi. So I'm wondering why all of a sudden they care about the legality of their actions.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think it's several things. Maybe even though they do illegal stuff, they might see that this guy is out of control, or maybe these guys are also leaning towards the Democratic Party. So this is a way of depowering Trump, and maybe eventually leading to his things like his the more and more people who step down from Trump, because Trump has also been cutting the budget and getting and Hegseth has been firing people who aren't on his side ideologically. So you're right. So maybe these guys also are ideologically opposed to him for whatever reason. It doesn't even have to mean that they're worried about the illegality, but they can use that as an opportunity to step down now. But I think what's happening is that Trump, as he's come in, it looks like he's doing chaos in every sector of America, the economy, the military, and the police. I still believe that if he's doing that type of chaos, it's on purpose and it's done by higher powers like the banks, because as the U.S. is an economy in dire straits and an empire in dire straits, they're doing a bunch of chaotic things, which I think are not to help America, but to help the elite banking class adapt their economic system. You understand what I'm trying to say?
I understand what you're saying. And this may make some US lawmakers a little bit disillusioned because of a lack of transparency within the Defense Department, and the event also suggests that there might be some kind of friction between senior military officers and political leaders on US foreign policy.
Yeah, and I'll agree because this is beginning to fall apart. Because even a lot of military guys were against the U.S. Entering the proxy war to help Ukraine with Russia. They were against that. So I think the military has finally gotten tired of a lot of these things, which have nothing to do with strategic concerns for American defense. And Trump has revved it up so much. I mean, to try to go to war with Venezuela, that is so dangerous. So there are many reasons why this guy could have stepped down. But I think whatever they are, this is absurd what Trump is doing in Venezuela. And it doesn't have any strategic value for anyone, except for people who will get paid off of the effort of it. So it will ruin America's economy. It will destabilize South America, make the world worse, make America worse, but it'll make the bankers richer. I think and also it serves to function against a friend of BRICS, because Venezuela doesn't really belong to BRICS, I don't think yet, but they're a de facto member. So I think this is part of a war. But definitely Holsey is out of that shit, and I would step down too. Remember the black guy who was on Africa that we did our show about him? I forgot his name, and we were insulting him. The one that was talking about Ibrahim Traore is stealing the gold from his own people. That guy was disgraced so much. So maybe this guy is like, oh boy, let me go and retire. You're not going to sully my great career in the military. Okay, last thoughts, Afolabi.
Of course, I think having been one of the most decorated black officers at that level, and this is happening so suddenly, it makes the Pentagon look less transparent, basically. And it's going to, there are questions going to be raised, especially among the lawmakers as the next election cycle comes around. And they've basically given them a label as illegal drug traffickers just to justify their strikes.
Yeah, this is another thing. Even if they are drug traffickers, you're not allowed. Even if they are drug traffickers, you're not allowed to use military force to stop. They say it's tied with the government. It's an act of terrorism. They're abusing the name of the word terrorism. Terrorism is when you blow up and kill people just to intimidate them. And if drug traffickers are doing that, that's different from a government doing it. But they're falsely claiming that Maduro is the head of the drug trafficking organization, and that's a lie. And see, a lot of guys in the CIA and the military will quit just because they know that's false. And
I won't be surprised if Marjorie Taylor Greene takes on this story and
I'll have to Google it and find out. So
and starts winding them up again. She's just
all right. Apology. Great show. We'll head out of it. Yeah. Press stop on the video first, then we'll talk. Then we'll head out. Press stop. Okay.